Hi friends, welcome back to Faith and Arrow Homestead. My name is Jaylee and we are in my new downstairs pantry storage area. I'll link the video down in the description where I showed you how we put this together, and it's been great. I've been really enjoying it. So with the onset of me now having this and being so very organized, I wanted to bring you some information about how you can store, how you can stock up your pantry. Now that I've been able to use this and have this be kind of a functioning kitchen pantry, I'm just so very grateful for the infrastructure that I've built over the years, and I want to share some practical tips to help you do the same. Even if you don't have crazy space like this, that's not exactly what we're talking about today, more so building up your stores. And in this particular video, I want to talk about Azure Standard. So Azure Standard is sort of like an online grocery store, and it's a place where you can go purchase bulk, often organic, fair trade, etc. grocery items. And it's really great because of the bulk aspect. Oftentimes the prices are very fair, and that's because they don't have a lot of overhead costs. There are no Azure grocery stores that you can go to. Rather, you put in your order online and then you choose a drop location. So you do have to have a drop location close enough that you're willing to drive to it to go and pick up your groceries. So once you've chosen a drop location and you've placed your order, you'll receive an email, and that email will tell you the date and the time of your drop off. So a literal big rig truck is going to come at that agreed upon day and time to your drop location with all of the groceries that you and everybody in your area ordered to be delivered to that drop. You go, and it's such a wonderful community experience. You all help unload each other's groceries off the truck together. Your drop coordinator will have some sort of system in place so that you know where to put people's groceries and where to pick up yours. And then you go home with your organic options or what have you that you purchased online, and it's wonderful. And I we could even talk about the community aspect of it. I won't get too much into it, but I'll say I've met some really wonderful people through my Azure drop, and I really enjoy going, and I enjoy the conversations that we have. So now every time I talk about Azure, I always have somebody in the comments say, I looked at it and the prices are just outrageous. I don't see how you're saying it's worth it to shop through Azure. And that very well could be true. And actually, I have some items on order that I just picked up. Well, actually, my dad went and picked it up for me the other day. And there are two items in here that are examples on opposite ends of the spectrum. One is a great deal and one is a terrible deal. So I want to talk a little bit about being strategic when you are shopping with Azure. So let's start with the bad option. So here I have a 5-pound bag of organic semolina spaghetti. We eat a lot of spaghetti, and I enjoy buying it in bulk. So for this big 5-pound bag of spaghetti, I paid $17.86. Didn't think anything of it. I've been buying it for a long time, honestly, these 5-pound bags, and it's really good spaghetti. I like it. So when I was doing some research for this video, I looked at my local grocery store, which I shop at a store called Wegmans. I'm in New York, and I can buy a 16-ounce box of organic semolina spaghetti for $2.09. Now, 16 ounces, this is what Google told me, 16 ounces equals usually a pound. So 1 pound of spaghetti, 16 ounces, is $2.09. To equal 5 pounds, I'd need 5 of those 1-pound boxes. So $2.09 times 5 is $10.45. So if I had purchased it from my local grocery store, I would have spent $10.45 versus getting it from Azure, I spent $17.56. So that did not work out, and I'm actually embarrassed that it's taken me this long to figure that out because I've been buying this for a really long time. So let's move on to a good option. Here I have a 2.5-pound bag of shredded coconut. Love coconut, love baking with it. And from Azure, I spent $11.93 on this 2.5-pound bag of coconut. The most comparable option that I could find in my local grocery store was an 8-ounce bag, half a pound, for $4.19. So in order to hit 2.5 pounds, I'd need to buy 5 of those as well. And $4.19 times 5 is $20.95 versus the $11.93 I spent on the bag of coconut from Azure. So the reason I'm giving you these numbers is just to show that it really is what you make it, and Azure can be an excellent option for stocking up your pantry if you pay attention, which I apparently don't always do. So do a little price comparison, and if you're somebody who is pinching pennies, as many of us homesteaders are, you're already shopping strategically. Now while I'm talking to you, I've got some glass jars here, and I'm going to start pouring some things into them, because when I did my very first initial tour of my new storage space, I had a lot of really well-intentioned commenters say, hey, you probably shouldn't keep so much stored in brown paper bags because of pests. You don't want to attract pests. And I agree. So I figured I can go ahead and get some of this put into containers for storage. But I don't think I have a lot of great storage options, because I think these are too big and this might be too small. Now the reason that Azure is such a great option, again, is because of the bulk option. And I really want to touch on that in our conversation today, because I am giving you this information in an attempt to help you work on your own pantry stores. And bulk is the way to go. It's the way to go not only in cost very often, but it's also the way to go in supply. And so if you are very often cooking with something, say, chocolate chips, if you're cooking with something like chocolate chips very often, then it'll behoove you to just keep a ton on hand, especially something like chocolate chips that aren't going to go bad very quickly. If you have them on hand really often, then you're good. When you decide on a random Tuesday that you want to make chocolate chip muffins, it's very likely that you will have them in your stores if you purchase them in bulk. And then it gives you plenty of time, with plenty of notice, like, hey, it looks like I'm running low on chocolate chips, I need to stock back up on them. And so it just gives you a lot of wiggle room when you're managing your stores, when you purchase things in bulk. The other thing, this differs a lot from homesteader to homesteader. I know many homesteaders who only purchase once a year, 2 times a year, 3 times a year. I am not that way. Look at that. Huge thing of coconut. I love that. Put this up here for now. I am not that way. No, I actually purchase from Azure almost every single month. And I think it really just depends on your personal situation. I'm not saying that my way is better than maybe somebody else's way. But my budget for groceries is very small. I often don't have a lot of grocery money, and so I enjoy shopping from Azure. I put in a monthly order because it gives me the opportunity to stock up on things slowly. I think the other reason that people oftentimes purchase from Azure less frequently is because they're farther away from their drop. I know a lot of homesteaders live really rurally, and they are not trying to drive an hour and a half every month. I'm very close to my Azure drop, and it absolutely doesn't bother me whatsoever to drive there once a month. It's actually out my parents' way, so I often use it as an excuse to visit with them. The last thing I'll say about Azure is that they have sales, and the sales are really fun. Back when I was stocking my pantry before the election last year, they had their butter on sale, on a really good sale for like a few months, and so I kept buying. I wish I had bought more. It was such a great deal, and they have this really great butter that I love, and I stocked my freezer with it, and I haven't purchased it since, because when it's not on sale, it's not that great of a price, and I don't buy it. They also are very seasonal. You can purchase things out of season too, but they have seasonal fruits, and oftentimes when those fruits are in season, when you go to the website, it'll be like, purchase citrus today, or purchase apples today. And I love that, because when you're first starting out as a homesteader and you are trying to eat seasonally, sometimes you don't know. Like, I don't know when the season for avocados is. I live in New York. Like, I have no idea. And I don't eat avocados anymore because I just assume in New York they're always out of season. But I don't think there's anything wrong with purchasing something from a company like Azure who's sourcing it well and in season, and purchasing it for yourself in season. The truck is coming to me anyway. It might as well bring me some avocados, right? So, citrus, avocados, grapefruits, things that I'm not really ever buying from the grocery store that I'd like to enjoy occasionally. Azure is a great place to get them. The prices are usually very fair, and they're organic. They do also have non-organic options, but they have organic options most of the time. And I just think that that's a great feature that they have. So I think that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I do have another older video going really in depth about how Azure works. But if you want to get started, I'll have a link down in the description. Take a look at the website and see if anything catches your attention. And let me know in the comments if any of the products that I've mentioned to you today sound interesting to you, because I can link them for you in the comments and you can check them out yourself. But I recommend putting in an order and just giving it a try and see if it works for you, because I understand that it may not work for everybody. If you've got great local store options to you, like you're in Amish country or something and you've got just great country stores where you can get a lot of these things, awesome, love that for you, do that. But where I am in Rochester, New York, I'm actually not that fortunate. I have some, I have a few stores, but I'm certainly not getting 50-pound bags of wheat berries anywhere around here. And so I love Azure for that reason. I love it for being able to get the things that I can't really get elsewhere. Also, if you try to do it and you go in there and you discover that the only drop is an hour and a half away from you, maybe it's not feasible, or maybe it's something that you do once a year like some of the others. So, you know, like I said, it may be that it doesn't suit you and your needs, but check it out, kind of just peruse, take a look at what they've got, and see if anything stands out for you. It's also great too when you're new to homesteading and you're unsure of, you just don't really know all the products that are out there, because there are so many things that I was purchasing when I first became a homesteader that was just terrible for me, and it took me a little while to be like, oh, there's a better option for that. Oh, there's a healthier option for that. Oh, there's an organic option for that. Oh, there's a non-GMO option for that. And it took me a little while to start realizing these products exist. So simply just browsing Azure could be an enlightening experience for you. So click the link in the description to go check it out. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, or if you have anything, if you're an experienced Azure shopper and you have anything that you'd like to add, any wisdom, put that in the comments so others can learn as well. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I can't wait to see you in my next video. Have faith and keep moving forward. Bye.